Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Sarah Hamilton and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The United States and Israel launched military strikes and major combat operations against Iran on Saturday. President Donald Trump said the strikes are a massive and ongoing operation. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. Iran confirmed that their supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed, along with several other top officials. Iran launched retaliatory drone and missile strikes against American and Israeli targets after the joint U.S.-Israeli attack, hitting a U.S. Navy base in Bahrain. As of Monday morning, the United States have confirmed that 4 U.S. servicemen have been killed in the operations. It has also been confirmed that 3 U.S. jets were shot down as a result of friendly fire by Kuwait. All of those crews are safe. Iran said its enemies would be decisively defeated. Images from Tehran on Saturday showed smoke rising from the Iranian capital as residents ran for cover. Iran claimed that 40 people were killed in a strike at a girls' school in the south. The attack follows weeks of rising tensions as Trump repeatedly threatened to attack Iran if negotiations over its nuclear and missile development programs fail. U.S. officials say 1 American was killed and another injured during a shootout off the coast of Cuba, according to Cuban authorities. The incident happened last Wednesday morning when border guard troops approached a U.S.-registered speedboat in the Cuban waters for identification. Cuban officials claim the people on board opened fire, wounding the commander of the Cuban vessel. Cuba's Interior Ministry described the incident as a failed infiltration attempt, alleging the group was armed and intended to carry out terrorist activity. Officials say 10 people were on board and 1 American was killed during the confrontation, and 6 others were detained. Cuban authorities also claim most of those involved have prior criminal histories and say another man was arrested for allegedly helping coordinate the operation from land. U.S. officials have confirmed the death and injury, but have not publicly addressed Cuba's allegations. Target says it will stop selling cereals made with certified synthetic food dyes by the end of May. The retailer says all cereals sold in stores and online will be free of petroleum-based artificial colors like Red 40 and Yellow 5. Target says the move reflects growing consumer demands for healthier options. Chief Merchandising Officer Kara Sylvester said shoppers are increasingly prioritizing healthier lifestyles, and the company is working with brands to reformulate products without sacrificing quality or value. The announcement follows similar commitments from other major retailers. Walmart plans to remove synthetic dyes from its private label foods by 2027, while General Mills has pledged to eliminate artificial colors from U.S. cereals and school foods in 2026. The shift comes amid broader national conversations about the potential health effects of artificial food dyes, particularly in children. The battle over the future of Warner Bros. Discovery has taken another turn. Netflix has declined to raise its offer to acquire Warner Bros., Discovery's streaming and studio assets, calling the deal no longer financially attractive. In a joint statement, Netflix co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters said the acquisition was a nice-to-have at the right price, but not a must-have at any cost. Netflix's exit now appears to clear the path for Paramount Global, which had signaled it was willing to increase its offer to $31 per share if meaningful talks moved forward. The potential merger had also raised antitrust concerns as it would have combined the number 1 and number 3 streaming platforms. Warner Bros. Discovery's board says it will continue evaluating strategic options, including a full sale, separate transactions for its businesses, or completing its planned corporate separation by mid-2026. For now, the company's future remains uncertain. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has announced another major recall just before the spring grilling season begins. Grill manufacturer Weber has issued a recall affecting 3.2 million metal wire bristle grill brushes, which are reported to pose a risk of serious internal injury. The recall is for 6 specific metal wire bristle brushes, amid at least 38 reports of metal bristles detaching from the brush. The issue is reported to bring on a risk of serious internal injury requiring medical treatment, including surgery, if a person accidentally consumes the bristle. Weber confirmed that it was aware of 4 reports of consumers having accidentally digested the bristles, which resulted in medical treatment to remove the items from their digestive tract or throat. The recalled products were sold at Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, Target, Amazon, and Weber.com from 2011 through 2026. Consumers are advised to stop using the recalled brushes immediately and contact Weber for a replacement according to its official website. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Let's talk portable electric space heater safety. These heaters must not be left unattended. Place them on a stable base 3 feet from combustibles. Their use is not recommended within a bedroom, but if you must do so, place a smoke detector on the ceiling within the bedroom. Plug a portable space heater directly into the outlet, avoiding extension cords. Thus, do not use lamp cords or power strips for this purpose. Are portable, unvented propane and oil-filled heating appliances safe to use within a residence? No. Massachusetts prohibits their use. These heaters produce asphyxiant gases. These gases can render an occupant incapacitated or dead. Please consider your safety during these upcoming colder months. Thank you for doing so.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Sarah Hamilton. Now we'll be getting into more stories. Here's a look at some public meetings scheduled for this week. On March 2nd, the Historical Commission will hold their monthly meeting at 6 p.m. in the Johnson Chambers, located at Town Hall. Then on March 3rd, the Planning Board will meet at 7 p.m. in Cahill Auditorium. Also on March 3rd, the Town Council will meet at 7:30 p.m. in the Johnson Chambers. On March 5th, the Conservation Commission will hold their monthly meeting at 7 p.m. in the Johnson Chambers. To watch the Braintree Town Council meeting and the Planning Board meeting live, tune into BCAM TV Government Channel, Channel 8 on Comcast, and Channel 26 on Verizon. And check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/BCAMTV for replays of the meetings. The federal government has started to award funds to local communities across the country. Here in Massachusetts, that includes Braintree, to develop new ways of improving traffic safety. The Department of Transportation awarded grants totaling $13.5 million to municipalities and public agencies through the Safe Streets and Roads for All program. The initiative works to improve roadway safety by funding plans and demonstration projects that may reduce injuries among pedestrians, cyclists, transit riders, truckers, and car drivers. The town of Braintree was awarded $192,000 for the Town of Braintree Comprehensive Safety Action Plan. The plan emphasizes a zone-based approach, addressing safety on multiple neighborhood streets simultaneously, rather than one at a time, aimed at slowing traffic to 25 miles per hour. It will build on existing traffic calming, such as quick install fixes like pavement markings and speed humps. Heating costs are climbing this winter, and Massachusetts families are feeling it. According to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, households nationwide are projected to spend an average of $1,011 on heat this season, about $100 more than last winter. Families who rely on electric heat could see costs rise by about 14%, while natural gas customers may face increases closer to 9%. Experts say higher natural gas prices, increased electricity demand, and colder winter temperatures are all driving the spike. With energy bills rising, state officials are encouraging residents to explore assistance programs if they're struggling to keep up with heating costs. Braintree police are asking for the public's help in locating a missing 14-year-old girl. Xiomara Rice was reported missing on February 23rd. Police say she was last seen wearing all black clothing and black and blue Air Jordan sneakers. She's described as 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing approximately 170 pounds, with reddish-brown hair. Police say she is known to frequent the Hyde Park area. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Braintree Police Department at 781-794-8600. Here's a look at what's happening around Braintree. At their public library on Tuesday, March 3rd, Parachute Play and Musical Parade will be held in the Children's Room at 10 a.m., where there will be a giant parachute and songs with Miss Elizabeth. Then on March 7th at 11 a.m. in the Logan Auditorium, youth mental health and first aid training will take place. To register or for more information, visit the library's website at theirpubliclibrary.libcal.com. The Braintree Recreation Department is offering a Central Rock Gym climbing clinic now through March 25th. In addition, Super Soccer Stars is hosting youth soccer sessions now through March 28th at the Liberty Elementary School gym, focusing on skill building and teamwork in a fun, supportive environment. For more information, call the Recreation Department at 781-794-8900. And that's your weekly snapshot. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
I'm Mayor Erin Joyce, and I'd like to tell you about some important projects we're working on here in Braintree to improve the quality of our local water bodies and to protect our town from the dangers of flooding and stormwater runoff. Stormwater runoff is the water generated from rain and snowmelt that flows over hard surfaces and does not soak into the ground. Stormwater runs through a system of pipes in the street and into our local water bodies, such as the Cochado River, Farm River, Manatequit River, and Sunset Lake. In Braintree, we have a separate sewer system. So what does that mean? That means that there are actually two separate pipes in most streets that carry stormwater and sanitary sewer separately. So when it rains and water washes into our catch basin system, it ties into the stormwater system, which transports water to our water bodies. Over the past 5 years, the town of Braintree has been working hard to maintain and improve our stormwater drainage systems. Now, we're constructing retrofits to the drainage system. These drainage retrofits use the natural process of infiltration to improve water quality and reduce potential flooding in our neighborhoods. At Plain Street Cemetery, we're constructing a bioretention basin. What that is right before the water, which today runs piped to the Manatequit River. This project intercepts that pipe before it goes and discharges into the river. And it creates a place for the water to go first, which is the bioretention basin. And in that basin, plants and engineered soils will filter the water so that that water that's coming off of the neighborhood right now, unfiltered, untreated, will be collected into a rain garden, and that provides a lot of pollution control before the water ultimately makes it to the Manatequit River.
I'm Rachel Horak. I live here in Braintree, and I'm the president of Sustainable Braintree. We think of ways that we can help our residents of Braintree live healthier lives that are in better harmony with our planet. Bioretention basin at the cemetery site is part of an overall project to expand the Braintree Cemetery. And this project will not impact current burial sites, nor will it impact future burial sites. After the bioretention basin is constructed, we add native plants that help filter out the pollutants so that the water is a little bit cleaner. Some of the ways that residents can help are reduce the amount of fertilizers that you use on your lawn, picking up pet waste, reducing the amount of garbage in our streets, and also raking the catch basins that you might see on the roadways.
To pay for these projects, we're leveraging grants from the Mass DEP, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. As a Braintree resident, you should know that the town is actively working on projects that help improve the water quality in our water bodies. With your help and these projects, we will help filter pollution and keep Braintree's rivers, lakes, and streams beautiful for years to come.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. A Weymouth man who was reported missing during the height of last Monday's blizzard has been reported dead by the Weymouth Police Department. 45-year-old Brendan L. Rogers was last seen leaving his home on Commercial Street at around 7:15 a.m. on Monday, February 23rd, when snowfall and winds were near their most intense, according to police. Law enforcement put out alerts on social media later that afternoon, describing Rogers as missing and endangered, and asking the public for information that could lead to his location. On Wednesday after 2 p.m., an investigation update reported that law enforcement found Rogers deceased in a remote wooded area off the Fore River after an exhaustive search by various agencies. The Weymouth Police Department said in a statement, quote, "While this is not the outcome we hoped for, we are grateful to all those who assisted in the effort to find him. There is no indication of foul play at this time." End quote. A police officer and two Good Samaritans pulled a driver from a burning vehicle early Friday after the person's vehicle crashed into a snow-filled truck in Easton, Massachusetts. Officials said a three-vehicle crash involving a dump truck occurred around 2:30 a.m. on Route 138. Easton Patrol Officer Dean Succi found two vehicles engulfed in flames. Bystanders alerted the officer that a person was trapped inside one of the burning cars. Body camera video provided by the Easton Police Department showed the chaotic moments when both the officer and the Good Samaritans broke the driver's side window and pulled the injured person to safety. The driver, a 78-year-old Rainham man, was transported by ambulance to a local hospital with serious injuries, although police said they were not believed to be life-threatening. Route 138 was closed for several hours during the on-scene investigation. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The measles outbreak had been on the rise across the country. Now that same outbreak has reached the borders of Massachusetts. The state's Department of Public Health has confirmed that 2 cases of measles have been diagnosed in Massachusetts residents. The first case was confirmed to be a school-aged Massachusetts resident who was exposed and diagnosed while they were out of state and remained out of state during the infectious period. The second case was diagnosed in an adult who lives in the greater Boston area. The individual recently returned from international travel and had an uncertain vaccination history. During their infectious period, the individual visited several locations where exposures to others likely occurred. State and local public health officials are working with these locations to identify and notify those who are potentially exposed. The DPH encourages those who are exposed to measles and start to develop symptoms to call their healthcare provider before visiting an office, clinic, or emergency department. The November election may still be months away, but a new poll is offering an early look at the races in Massachusetts. According to the University of New Hampshire Survey Center, Senator Ed Markey leads Representative Seth Moulton in the Democratic primary for U.S. State Senate, 35% to 23% among Democratic voters. The poll also found Markey with the higher favorability rating at plus 33 compared to Moulton's plus 13. In potential general election matchups, both Democrats lead Republican candidate John Deaton by wide margins. Moulton leads Deaton 59% to 23%, while Markey leads 56% to 27%. Meanwhile, in the governor's race, incumbent Maura Healey leads all 3 of her Republican challengers by significant margins. The poll surveyed 670 Massachusetts residents between February 12th and 16 and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.8%. The Easy Pass transponder is getting a new look. Massachusetts will be transitioning to a new form of Easy Pass as of March 1st. The hard plastic transponders that Massachusetts residents have grown accustomed to for years will be replaced with a small sticker that you put on your windshield. The new sticker tags will be provided free of charge. MassDOT officials say the stickers will have RFID capabilities. MassDOT says the stickers only cost 55 cents to produce, compared to $6.70 to produce the previous transponders. Sticker tags are projected to save MassDOT approximately $615,000 per month and approximately $7.38 million per year. Drivers with the current transponder do not need to take any action as they will still work properly. Thank you for tuning in to Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
I'm Mayor Erin Joyce, and I'd like to tell you about some important projects we're working on here in Braintree to improve the quality of our local water bodies and to protect our town from the dangers of flooding and stormwater runoff. Stormwater runoff is the water generated from rain and snowmelt that flows over hard surfaces and does not soak into the ground. Stormwater runs through a system of pipes in the street and into our local water bodies, such as the Cochado River, Farm River, Manatequit River, and Sunset Lake. In Braintree, we have a separate sewer system. So what does that mean? That means that there are actually 2 separate pipes in most streets that carry stormwater and sanitary sewer separately. So when it rains and water washes into our catch basin system, it ties into the stormwater system, which transports water to our water bodies. Over the past 5 years, the town of Braintree has been working hard to maintain and improve our stormwater drainage systems. Now, we're constructing retrofits to the drainage system. These drainage retrofits use the natural process of infiltration to improve water quality and reduce potential flooding in our neighborhoods. At Penniman Park Elder Affairs, we're constructing a bioretention basin behind the building. What that is right before the water, which today runs piped to the Manatequit River. This project intercepts that pipe before it goes and discharges into the river. And it creates a place for the water to go first, which is the bioretention basin. And in that basin, plants and engineered soils will filter the water so that that water that's coming off of the neighborhood right now, unfiltered, untreated, will be collected into a rain garden, and that provides a lot of pollution control before the water ultimately makes it to the Manatequit River.
I'm Rachel Horak. I live here in Braintree, and I'm the president of Sustainable Braintree. We think of ways that we can help our residents of Braintree live healthier lives that are in better harmony with our planet. And we want to be sure that our waterways are clean so that our residents can enjoy them both for recreation and for beauty purposes. The bioretention basin will filter out the bad bacteria out of the stormwater before it hits the Manatequit River. We add native plants that help filter out the pollutants so that the water is a little bit cleaner. Some of the ways that residents can help are reduce the amount of fertilizers that you use on your lawn, picking up pet waste, reducing the amount of garbage in our streets, and also raking the catch basins that you might see on the roadways.
To pay for these projects, we're leveraging grants from the Mass DEP, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. As a Braintree resident, you should know that the town is actively working on projects that help improve the water quality in our water bodies. With your help and these projects, we will help filter pollution and keep Braintree's rivers, lakes, and streams beautiful for years to come.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. First in entertainment news, Neil Sedaka, the hit-making singer-songwriter whose bright melodies made him a top act in the early years of rock and roll and led to a second run of success in the 1970s, has died. Sedaka died last Friday at age 86. His family said in a statement, "Our family is devastated by the sudden passing of our beloved husband, father, and grandfather, Neil Sedaka. A true rock and roll legend, an inspiration to millions, but most importantly, at least to those of us who were lucky enough to know him, an incredible human being who will be deeply missed." Sedaka's songs sold millions worldwide and have been covered by a range of performers from Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra to The Fifth Dimension and Nickelback. Sedaka is survived by his wife Liba, daughter Dara, and his son Mark. Now here are some new movies and shows that have been creating some social buzz. First, Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert, is a documentary concert film using newly restored, never-before-seen footage from the 1970s. It presents a first-person narrative featuring Elvis himself telling his story through concert rehearsal and interview audio. The film is directed by Baz Luhrmann, and you can watch Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert now in theaters. Up next, The Secret Agent takes place in 1977 and follows Marcelo, a technology expert who flees from a mysterious past and returns to his hometown of Recife in search of peace. He soon realizes that the city is far from being the refuge he seeks. The film stars Robson Andrade and Ruben Santos. You can watch The Secret Agent now on Hulu. Finally, The Bluff follows Ursel, a skilled ex-pirate whose tranquil life on a remote island is shattered by the return of her vengeful former captain. She must confront her bloody past and unleash her deadly talents to save her family from a ruthless siege. The film stars Priyanka Chopra and Carl Urban. You can watch The Bluff now on Amazon Prime Video. That'll do it for news today. Don't forget, Verizon customers can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128 and Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Sarah Hamilton, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.